I'm glad we finally met. And
I know, it's about time we're doing this. I wanted to show you before we do anything. I don't know if I've shown you this before, but I have the Seed sheet music for Pushing Too Hard.
get out of here.
It's so cool. It seems so weird to think about like playing it on piano.
Yeah.
So
Can
cool
you read music?
it.
Can you actually read music?
I don't, but my husband does, and it's just cool to have around. We have a bunch of like monkey sheet music and that.
Oh, I know. I have friends that collect all the '60s stuff. They have like the Buckinghams and all this.
Oh yeah,
Really cool
it's fun to have around. But the Seeds, especially for Pushing Too Hard, it seems such like a strange one to have sheet music.
Yeah, that would be. It's just it's pretty much Gloria. Just does he actually read? Does it actually the music that does it match it?
Yeah.
Match it? Oh wow, it does.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty great.
He actually read it and tried to play it, and because when I used to play trumpet as a kid in like the marching band and stuff, sometimes the music to like pop. There was a guitar class thing, a book called Mel Bay. He was very Mel Bay's School of Guitar, but it would never matched it. What you would try to play it exactly what you would read.
Oh, that's funny. So did you play trumpet like in the school band?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Oh. Do you still ever play? You should put it on the Strangers in a Strange Land song or something.
Yeah, no, we have actually, it's funny you should say that. The guy who was like our first seat growing up, he was always like way better than everyone in the neighborhood. I got on the new record, he's playing on it. We we hadn't seen each other like in over 40 years.
That's amazing. That's really cool.
Yeah, so we leave the trumpet to him. But I did try last year, I guess it was. It was really
that's cool.
But I find the trumpet does help with playing harmonica.
Huh, interesting.
With the phrasing and just, I know when I was playing with Magic Christian, Cyril would say my harp playing was kind of, it's nothing, really to write home about, but what my attempted harp playing was very like horn. I think
interesting. It was that's cool. And it probably, the breath work and everything probably is similar too.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, let's just jump right into stuff. So I know COVID has affected everything musically and stuff, and there weren't live shows going on last year, but you were still really busy. Can you talk about everything that you had going on last year with the Seeds and with Strangers in a Strange Land, and just kind of where things are at right now?
Yeah. Well, last year when we were just about, like everyone else, I guess, we were just about to really, all this was supposed to happen a lot earlier. It had been planned to kind of the beginning of last year to come out. We're like going to be a year later. But yeah, it was like come out with the, it was time so we would have the Seeds and then Strangers going. And it obviously, we actually finished, our last session was the last week. The shutdown was March 13th. We finished most of it. We have a little bit that we're trying to do remotely now. With the Strangers record, but it's almost there. But we were lucky that we had a lot in the can, and we had the Seed single. Actually, I was looking back at those Facebook memories kind of thing. It was 1 year ago, last week, I think it was, when we finished the single. We finished it, and we were just.
Wow, that was just in time.
Yeah, we did it. I think when I looked, it was March 6th, which is like later it all shut down.
And that was the one that ended up coming out on Hypnotic Bridge later in the year, right? Vampire.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just came out. I think it came out just December. Oh, that's right. It was on the winter solstice.
Yeah. To remember it.
Yeah. So, but now the exciting thing is now the response has been so good to that one, and we're now starting work on another one.
Nice. And so is the new work that's starting, is that happening remotely, or are you hoping that you'll be able to get into the studio at some point? How is it all working?
We're actually a little bit of both. We're getting together with Daryl, and we kind of, the three of us, and we socially distance. We're lucky at Alex's house. We have a studio in his backyard
Oh, cool.
But yeah, we have access to that, and Daryl and I go over there, and we kind of work on stuff that way. But the two other guys have been wonderful, and they're remotely. They're able to do that.
Yeah.
And there's talk of coming on up here and doing that.
Well, that's cool. And I mean, at least during this time, technology is good enough now that stuff can be done remotely. A lot of things can be done in the sort of home studio and shared and stuff. So, I mean, at least there's that. So music doesn't have to completely stop during all this, but we're definitely looking forward to when people can really get together.
I should say, we're looking, there's some exciting stuff I can't really get into, but in like 3 or 4 weeks, we're hoping, it's just finding a studio that, it's safe. We were supposed to be doing some filming and some video coming up. and we're setting that all up and getting the logistics, and the two guys would come up. So to answer your question, we're looking into socially distancing, and we're going to take some photos. We're going to attempt to do something, but be very careful.
Right on. Well, let's go ahead and talk about Ring My Bell, because that's what's really blowing up right now. I keep seeing all these posts about it and everything. So for people who don't know, let's just go ahead and talk about, how did you guys decide that you were going to cover this sort of obscure Bee Gees song, and how did that come about? And then let's just go ahead and jump right into it.
Sure. Well, Alec and I have loved that song for years. Like, it was an outtake from the Horizontal sessions, the record. And we've always loved the song. Such a great song. Always wondered, why wasn't that, their throwaways are just like, better than anyone else. They have so many songs. And from Vince has told me, Barry had the ability to just in 10 minutes, go write a song. And he'd write a song, but it wouldn't just be a song, it'd be a good song. I mean, he could write a really good song. It's like, I wish I could do that. But yeah, it's amazing. We discovered the song, Alec and I, and then when the opportunity presented it, we had been talking to Jonathan Lay, about playing on the sessions. And he brought up the fact that he was in contact and was working with Vince Maloney of the Bee Gees, and that there was an opportunity to possibly have him play on one of our tracks, and then we would play on one of his tracks, which was Women, the version of the Easy Beat song, which we cut the same session, but was released earlier in the year. That also did really well for us. That also, I don't know if you've heard that yet. But
I don't know if I have.
Oh, we'll get you that one. Yeah, that was
that'd be great.
Actually pre Ring My Bell. That was the first one. So that one did really well as well. And it grew, and we all really enjoyed working with each other. And now we're going to do some other stuff.
That's really great. That's really great. And it was kind of a super group of involvement too, getting Jonathan involved, and then you have Vince, and you have the production and everything involved too. I mean, you guys, it really is sort of a super group, and it sort of came at this zeitgeist where people are really refining the Bee Gees. That documentary came out.
That was,
it was really good timing, I think.
Yeah, we didn't know that. It was just well, Jonathan had an idea. He would mention, well, there's a Bee Gees documentary coming out in January. And that was like way before the pandemic. We're like, January of 2021. We're like, that's like, 10 years.
Yeah, the future.
Yeah. The whole world's crazy right now. It's just, get to there. But so he knew about it, but we didn't really think about it or plan it. Everything was very organic in that way. And getting back to the timing of everything, Bring a Broken Tambourine was just finished right before all this happened. And then we just put out right when, I think it was right then. The timing's been interesting with Shell being involved, and having Shell work with Vince, which I know he's talked about. It was always a thrill because he was supposed to work with the original Bee Gees.
Oh wow.
Shell did, there was but Robert Stigwood at a party influenced them and changed their and he's like, I was telling Vince when we were hanging out last year, before all this pandemic, at a restaurant, we were all watching, and he was telling him, I should have had you 50 years ago. That's my border collie.
That's just part of Zoom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can. I have to. Yep. But hey, she knows you. Okay.
Oh, well, he wants to be part of the interview.
Yeah, that's the Diana. Anna, why don't you go over there, Samantha? Oh, look, here she is.
No.
Hey, come on. Here, go.
Oh.
There she is.
Oh, guest star. Hi.
There she is.
Oh, that's so precious.
Yeah. So he was telling Vince, I should have worked with you like over 50 years ago, but Stigwood was very persuasive and in that regard. But yet it all fell together. And in Clem Burke, I'd worked with Clem in my old band Magic Christian.
Yeah.
And we've always been looking for an opportunity to work out again, but it just never really fit in. And scheduling, because Clem's schedule is like, it's like, you're lucky to hit it. But it all just all worked out really well, and it's just been amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It's all the reception. It totally is well deserved. Are there any other Bee Gees songs that in the future you just want to cover for fun? What are some of your favorites?
Oh God, there's so many. I wanted to do World. I was talking about that, doing that. That was also one that we had talked about doing. I don't know if I should say. I will say this. It's real obscure. It's called Four Faces West.
I don't even know if I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, it's a really obscure song by Sharon Belmer. I think it was a 14-year-old girl in Australia, and it's very. Look it up on YouTube.
I'll have to check it out.
So we want to cut that one day. But there's a
Cool.
few other songs of My World. I've always wanted to do that one. I like all the world songs. You know, Run to Me, as you know, Material Issue.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love their cover of that
I
one.
know, I love that song so much. That was a big when I was like 10, you know, song around my house. There's so many, you know, I love Alive, you know. Jonathan, who we're working with, you know, Jonathan Lay, he put out a great Bee Gees, a bunch of artists doing different Bee Gees songs, Melody Fair.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with that record. It's a great,
wasn't that the one that Material Issues covers on?
Yep.
Yes,
Exactly.
that whole one is so great.
Yeah, it's great. So it's great, you know, talking to him because he's like so knowledgeable about the Bee Gees.
Yeah, and Jonathan's just another plug into the whole power pop scene with the Jigsaw scene and all of that.
Yeah.
I love that you you go between both worlds, between the garage and the psych with the Seeds, and between power pop with Strangers. I really dig that you're sort of all over the place with that.
That's kind of who we are. You know, it's funny. I was talking to somebody else about that. We're not really a garage, you know, not that any, you know, anything bad with it. You know, being a garage singer, you know, I've had people say that, oh, you're the great garage singer. But we like to think, when you hear the new record, like there's a song with me and like an orchestra. It's it's like more closer to like John Cale or.
That's cool.
I know Lou Reed, Perfect Day or something. It ends the record. The new record, which we're so excited about. It's such a different side of me that you're gonna hear.
I'm excited.
Alec and I are. We're just hoping people won't be too freaked out about it.
Oh no! And you know, this is the second Strangers album, right? That'll be coming out.
Yeah, well, the first record wasn't really a record. It was like demos.
Oh, gotcha.
The demos thing. Like when I met you first up there, we just kind of threw it together quickly, and we're just kind of learning. Alec and I were kind of learning about writing. We've been together for so long, over 20 years, but always in projects where we were the sidemen.
Yeah.
Kind of our thing is like, you know, the guys that play with the 60s guys. Oh, they're, you know, I mean, right. That's pretty much us.
Yeah.
But we've always been the side. This is the first time with Strangers, you know, it's our thing.
Yeah.
And showing all our sides on it. But I'm really excited when you hear the new record, because it's got so much different. We have a song on there that sounds like the Saints, you know, it's got chords and it's punky.
Oh, fun.
That would probably be the next, you know, for radio. But then we have like, the next single, which we're shooting video on the next few weeks, is more of Zombies ballad.
Right on.
It's called 29 or 134, which are bus lines in London. That's great. It's one of my favorites. And then we have a song called Xylazine, which is about a drug that's, it's kind of like Train Spotting, song about loving drug. It's kind of a girl being a drug in this case. But it's sad, you know, kids over there are taking this drug and they're getting out of control on it. So it's a kind of a putting yourself in that thing. But that song's very kind of Phil Spector. It's a big production thing.
Well, it sounds like there's a lot of different things coming into this, and that's really exciting. So with the orchestra stuff that you're bringing to and the horns, was that all done in the studio pre-pandemic? Was there actually orchestra players? Wow.
We did that in February of 2019. I mean, I'm sorry, December of 2019, and then January of 2020.
Wow.
And then the first week in February we finished. And then of course March, the pandemic.
Yeah. So you've just been kind of waiting on mastering and, you know, waiting for the right time to actually get this thing out there.
It was, and then the pandemic kind of slowed us down. All on schedule, like everyone else, right? But it's worked to our benefit you know, in that, you know, we've gotten our music out there and people know who we are now, and both with the Seeds also putting out a single that's been so well received, and now with more stuff going on there, and with Strangers. When this is over, you know, when we all get back to doing what we do, we have a lot of really exciting things on the opportunities for us. And then with this I can't really get into too much, but there's a lot of talk of a proposed possibility of a feature film on Shell.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, I mean, well deserved.
When we were in the studio in 2020, right before the pandemic, we were cutting Poison Chalice, which was a song we cut. They filmed us. These guys came in and filmed us, and that would be included if it happened. We'll see.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you've
got a lot of stuff going on.
And with this music video, you said you're probably going to be shooting in the next few weeks. So would that be released maybe early spring, something like that?
Oh, the record, we hope to have the record out in the next 3 months.
Oh, cool. Well,
Three
you
or
know,
4
Powell's
weeks.
going to be covering that. We'll be excited.
Oh, absolutely. You guys have been great, you know, from the get-go. I mean, I was remembering just the other day, thinking about when you would ask me like top 10 records or things. Looking at it, it hasn't changed.
Yep, I find that most of the people that I talk to, you know, you kind of get your favorites early on in your adolescence and they just stay with you, you know. Everyone has those ones that really hit you hard at a certain point in your life, and it's hard to replace those.
Yeah, it's really funny with that. Only thing I'm noticing, Alec and I have been talking about this, we're going a little bit more kind of girl group, like 67 kind of thing going on. Cool. We like the production, like John Paul Jones, that kind of stuff. Whereas before I was like Rolling Stones, like
So have you found yourself, I mean, during all of this, obviously we've been stuck at home quite a bit. So what do you find yourself listening to the most when you go to just put on records for yourself? Is there a certain genre that you just always kind of put on, or what are there any new bands that you've been discovering?
Yeah, I've been listening to I listen to mostly older stuff, but I have discovered because I've been listening a lot to satellite radio because of Ring My Bell has been airplay over there. So I've been like checking out artists, discovering like Dana Gillespie. Like I wasn't really familiar as much as Alec is, or Madeline Bell, who I love. Madeline Bell, I'm going crazy over her. I'm going with a lot of female singers right now. I'm going through this big thing with girl singers. Who else? Modern bands. I really like Palmyra, her band, her songs are great. You know, Lucky in Love and
I've been seeing that they've been getting a lot of play right alongside you guys.
Yeah. So I've been listening. I really like them and Muck and the Myers. Who else? God, I know I'm missing something. I love Electric Looking Glass.
Oh yeah, and they've got a new album coming out soon too.
Right.
They really nailed that sound. That kind of analog.
They're fantastic. A lot of the Hypnotic bands, Stu Pope and Hypnotic Village, where the Seeds are working with, and it looks like we're going to do some more work with him. And he's just fantastic. A lot of the great bands on.
Oh yeah, everything that Hypnotic Bridge has been putting out, they're just really putting out all the great stuff, finding new bands that I'm not aware of and stuff. So I'm all about whatever they're doing.
God, I heard somebody the other day I was really blown away. I can't remember her name. She was out of Austin, Texas. I don't know. She sings with a band called Cotton Mather. Do you know that?
I know the name.
Yeah, she kind of guessed with them. I'll find out and let you know. Yeah, I've been really listening to a lot of, it seems to be girl singers these days.
There's a ton of good stuff out there. And I love, you know, you guys have been getting a lot of play on Little Steven, and I always for Rodney's show, there's always such good new bands getting played there. And
there's been a lot. I know I'm missing a ton there. I'm sure there's a lot.
It's good to know that even during COVID times that, you know, stuff is still being made, whether people are doing it at home or remotely. You know, I'm glad that the music hasn't stopped. I mean, you know, we all miss live shows, but the music hasn't stopped. People are writing more, which is encouraging, things like that. So I'm just hoping that, you know, once live shows do get to come back, that it's just going to be like this explosion of stuff, and people are going to be so excited. Everyone's going to be
it's like everyone's getting ready. It's going to be so many people at once coming out. That's the only concern. Everyone's going to be so ready to fire away. I know.
So what about you? When this is all done, what would be like your first dream show? Who would you want to play with for your very first live show since COVID?
Well, the ones we're talking about that I didn't want to jinx myself is with the Seeds. Seeds are more like live ready because it's, you know, it's more of a band. It's 5 guys. We're strangers. It's just the 2 of us, and then we use people. So you got to work with like Clem's Blondie schedule, which I've done with Magic Christie. You know, we know how to do it. It was exciting that time to open for them. But getting back to your question, it would be we have a possible opportunity. We're hoping to get down under and do Australia and Japan and New Zealand. And
that would be cool. And you're already starting to do shows again, so that might be a good place to start.
Yeah. So we've been talking to some people down there. That's pretty good, and that would be exciting. And,
for sure. And have you guys gone over anywhere outside of the U.S. with the Seeds yet?
Yeah, well, we've been to the UK. 2019, we played over in England.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
No, I guess Strangers. I played over there. No, we no, I guess not. We did. I'm trying to think of all these bands.
Yeah.
But no, Seeds have just done the UK.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think Australia is a great place. There's definitely a big garage scene there. For the Seeds, I know people would be wanting to come out for that.
Yeah, no, we have a lot of friends over there. There's a girl band called Doll Squad.
Oh yeah, they're great. They've been around for a while.
So we're gonna try to link up with them, and then
cool.
the Hoodoo Gurus are friends, and
oh yeah,
Time Out Festival and some other stuff. So we got a lot of things we're looking. Japan is also Mike Rogers.
Yeah, he's got that show.
He's been fantastic. So he's hopefully we can do something with Japan. And
that'd be great. I'm so excited for live music to get back eventually. We don't know when that'll be, but just fingers crossed that we can do it fairly soon. And I know, everybody is now saying, I'll go out to every show. People just, you don't really know what you've got until it's gone.
Yeah. Oh, totally. It's gonna be interesting. Coming out there with the venues and.
Yeah, and there may be some limiting, at first. Maybe they'll have to do a limited capacity, but I mean, I would be totally fine with going to a show, even if it's at 50%, just to get to see live bands again.
Oh man, just to feel it's going to be so special to see you just be hanging out. And we want to get up there. We want to get up there so bad. I mean, we were talking about that right before this. There was some talk about these group of resorts, McMinimans. There was all kinds of stuff being talked about, and of course, I'm sure Chris Porter is a real great friend of ours. So it's always been talking to Chris about getting up there. And then, the lady at Something Weird.
Yeah, for Seattle.
Yeah, she's wonderful too. So, and of course, we know people in Portland. So yeah, we love Portland. It's just like, as you know, the last time I was up, the last 2 times I've been to Portland, I've been sick.
Yeah, which is a huge bummer.
I know. It's funny. The times before that, I've had the funnest times. There was a band, the Nice Boys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I hung out with them, and they were so fun. And they were booking a little club. Oh God, it closed.
Yeah, there's been, that's the one bad thing about COVID is it seems like a lot of venues are just barely holding on. Some are closed. So I hope that most of the clubs are able to stay afloat and just hang in there, and maybe get some extra financial help. But, even in San Francisco, I've seen that some like legendary places are closing. It's
it's so sad. No, it's crazy. Yeah, no, it's affecting everywhere.
Yeah, well,
Portland's always been one of my favorite places. I got in a lot of trouble in Portland. That's another story. There's like people that know these stories, but yeah, it was legendary. Our time with Magic Kristen was always like incredibly fun up there.
Yeah, well, we hope to see you again soon.
I want to get.
We can.
It is so fun. We love that town.
Well, we're getting towards our half hour here, but is there anything else that you want to talk about that you've got coming up? Anything that people should be checking out? Obviously, Ring My Bell is out everywhere now, so people can check it out.
And also our band, our at Bandcamp. Next week is Bandcamp Friday.
Yeah.
You can go there for both Seeds and Strangers. That's all that info. We have the Strangers record coming out with Shel Talmy again producing, and we could go into that. There's so many stories about that sometime. Let's see, we got the Seeds, we've talked about that. I think that's pretty much, we got the Vince, there's a lot going on and still some exciting things to come.
Well, I'm so happy for you. I'm glad that despite everything that's going on, that you guys are keeping on rolling and you've got a lot of projects kind of in the works. You've got some exciting stuff coming out. You're getting some really good reception to the stuff that's come out recently. So it's really great to see you being so successful with it. And I'm so excited to see everything else that's coming out, especially the new record, because it sounds like it's a whole new sort of vibe. So that's going to be exciting.
It is. It's got a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of, but all with the 60s theme.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Well, we'll talk again soon. Maybe after the video comes out, we could do a little interview and do a little.
Absolutely. Anything. We love POW.
Thank you.
Say hello to Jenna.
Love you too. And tell your doggy that I was happy to meet her.
I'll tell her rough. All
right, Paul. Well, I'll let you go for now, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds great.
All
Take
right.
care. Bye-bye.
Bye.